probably beat me to the thinking on this one. You know, she says, but there are only 3 kisses there, and you've got 4 pieces. That's when you kiss them. Okay, well, I might get away with it, it's true. As you get beyond a certain stage, you do get away with it. You've got to watch it. That's something you really have to watch. Now, we were back to some alternatives to this. This alternative came up with Gene Anderson and I. We had a lot of fun with it. I tried it. It has actually a rather extraordinary effect on people. Michael, can you come back again just for a second? Yeah, you're doing sit down. But it's not to do the tearing, but we're going to go through all that. It's not really a card trick, but the cards are used. Okay. Show them and do whatever twiddles you want to start with. And you say, Madam, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine you're cutting cards at a certain place. Could be the top half, the middle, and the bottom. Now reach your hand out. Back of cards, please. Open your eye. And actually cut as close to where you had in your imagination. Place the cards there. And were you thinking about 2/3 the way down? Or 3/4? Yes. Yeah, well, very good. Okay. Now, all you've done is the cross force, of course, but you've set it up in a kind of cute way. I'll tell you about the cross force in a moment as being one of the best from the results that I've had. Now, we go through the same damn process. Card is torn. If you do this, you'll be doing your bit, you know. And the same idea of emotion and all the rest of it. Get up to the 8 pieces. The point I'm making here is it's your imagination. You develop a trick like this and it's something very worthwhile. Would you open your hands and then do the same thing? Remember placing it on to the fingers. And don't put one on the palm and one on there. That kind of looks obvious. Spread it out a bit. 2. I count it so that people I convince myself of 4, and of course 4. Now, I first of all turn those over in the same fashion, turn these over in the same fashion, turn them both over. Excellent. See the difference here? I didn't take them out this time. Now, before we start, you had in your mind a certain place to cut the cards. Only you knew that. You then cut the cards at this particular position. So we have here unknown cards from 3/4 to 2/3 way down. I'm going to take the top card here and I'm going to rub it over your right hand. Now will you turn your hand over slowly? I'll show you what I have here are the 4 clubs. Will you open your hand please and tell me you now have the 4 clubs in your hand. Now, that's the kind of lead-in, that's a climax in itself. But I believe, Michael, and relax please, that's brilliant. I believe you can do this yourself. I'll take the next card and I'll rub it here. That's impossible. I want you to think of any card. You got it in your mind? Right, turn your hand over and let's see what it is. What is it?
Light.
Good, what's that? Totally?
Yeah.
Just like the card. So we've gone from maybe I didn't, so he made a mistake or something, or it's impossible because it isn't. I don't know damn well. If I could do that, I wouldn't be here. So there's nothing more to it than doing it with obviously 4 clubs. The setup here, I tell you, is 4 of clubs, or 4 of hearts, or 4 of diamonds. Keep it to a small number, 4. Because you've got 4 pieces. Very hard to follow. And here, watch for the bleeding. You're far enough away here, but at times with certain light, black will show through. If here, you're far enough away anyway. And in fact, I'm a perfectionist. I don't like anything to show anywhere that can be avoided. But I've seen people practically bled through with analysis. It's you worry more than you know how it is. Thanks very much. And you do the cross force, literally. Shuffle the pack, keeping the top two cards in place by whichever means you want. If you want to do it in hand. And I said, no glitzy shuffles. This isn't the place for any kind of shuffles, just very casual. Now, the crossfolds, let me tell you, one trick that I do, and I'm asked to do it every damn show, doesn't matter how complex the act, I may be doing some quite difficult finger flinging stuff, and they say, I want to see that one with the, no, that's the crossfolds. It'll be too long for me to spread it out for you, but what I do is I come under the small envelope in which are two cards, and I hand it to a lady who's sitting in the close-up area. Just ask her to look after it, put it in her purse, and make it rather important. I then have the two cards on the top to start with. I shuffle the cards and I see the bottom, and then I then do a double undercut, which you all obviously know what the double undercut is, to the bottom, so the top card goes to the bottom, and I go into then a shuffle, leaving the top and the bottom cards in place, whichever they happen to be. So that's not complicated stuff. You can have it on the top and bottom to start with, but you can't handle the cards as quickly. So the idea is to finish with the top and bottom cards, so you have two force cards. Then I ask them to do pretty well what you did, Michael. Close their eyes and put their hand out, one hand. And you say, I'm going to put the pack on your hand. And I stroke their hand a little bit. Well, this isn't a sexual overtone. I mean, it's just, and you say, very seriously, this is a serious thing. This is mind reading. I want you to think you're cutting the cards with your right hand. I want you to close it over the invisible pack, and you can cut it, and you suggest a number, like a quarter, half, 2/3, 3/4, to leave an impression that they're not going to say 13 cards down, but a position. When they've done that, please open your eyes. You have that position in your mind. Would you please transfer that position to the cutting of the cards here as close as you possibly can, and see if I can guess. Getting rid of most ideas of the crossfolds. Person then, you see them. Are you sure that's close? They do that. That's terrific. Now, I think you were probably trying to cut about 2/3 of the way down. Is that correct? You diverted attention right away from the significant action. This is put aside for the moment. Madam, before we started, I gave you a very small envelope. May I have it, please? Take it. And in it, I shake out 2 miniature cards, about that size. Not too miniature, about that size. And I know the order of those two cards. One goes to the left and one right, and they both face down. Stop. I then turn this side over and I leave that side. These are the two force cards, of course, from the crossfolds. You'd be surprised at the reaction when you turn over the first of the small cards and it matches this one. You suddenly got their attention because they think, well, she only thought about what she's doing. The one shuffle back out, she had the thing in her pocket all the time. Turn over the other one and it's not a blank, but whatever the other one is. You got the idea? What I'm trying to sell you on is the fact of the simplicity of that couldn't be simpler. But the fact is so marked that of all the tricks I do, that may be the first one people ask to see again. It makes me mad as a hell. You know, because you said, geez, is all that work? But actually, I didn't get to that situation with the crossfolds until I've been doing magic for about 45, 50 years, that you boil it down to the simple things. And no one has ever challenged me on it. So it's a psychological thing. Okay, we've got through this one, we got into that. And now, let's see here. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Trying to get the correct order. A lot of these things, of course, are going to be. This is done. This is a stage kind of thing. We're not on a stage. It should be done to music, so everything is wrong. Apart from that, you can imagine that you're listening to a delightful piece of music. The magician's on, shows this gorgeous silk. He demonstrates that his left hand is empty, and he also, hopefully, demonstrate that his right hand is empty. Usually of these things is this first impossible. Okay, this is, we'll go through that because it's awful, the way it's done there. Actually, out of here, you can make coins rise, and you pick them up billiard ball style. Okay, don't worry about this. It's just the principle that I want to get across to you. And however many you want go in here. You then, if you want a fifth one, you can put it in here. As you lean forward, it's an absolute perfect time to pick up big coins from the back here as you do this, so that when you come here, you can make the demonstration. Well, let's go through that again. I hate this because I can't, the way I would normally do it, I had to do it from a drawer, which is totally impossible. Again, the less time you have to carry something in your hand during performance, the better. There is no way that after a while, a thing like coins can do anything but get more difficult to handle. So you don't want them held there. If you can avoid taking them from various parts of your body, so much the better. Often there's no choice. So the way I do this is absolutely bald and simple. I have the coins that I intend to produce on my table, like that. Now, I don't know how obviously you can see them there, but you can't unless the light is there. Forget, imagine the light is not coming back. It's just a handkerchief on the table. When you get to do it, you just pick those up like that. And that avoids all this rigmarole of finding coins from the Savante or wherever it is. So you've got them in finger palm. How many coins you want? I take 5. You show this. Beautiful music. Lovely handkerchief. You can half see through it. The hand goes over to the right to act as a protection. And you open up underneath. This hand is shown, it comes down, and as you turn this hand over, you grasp all the coins through and throw it over. So that is what happens. This hand is now empty, but the coins are now held in a little pocket in your left hand, and you'll notice I make a channel between my first finger and my little finger, so it's sort of gripped in a channel, they're not loose. They're almost ready for a back palm of a coin position. You're not going to back palm of a coin. But that's to give you the channel. Now you do the little flick here and you actually push up with your thumb. So the first one comes and you take that, and if you have the right light, it's actually very effective. I'll show two when you're doing this sort of stuff. And the third one, depending on how dramatic you want to be, you're going to get this one. And then finally, your last one, which you place in there. Get ready if you want. I used to use this as the last trick that I did for that particular series, so I would get my final load. You have your 2 coins here. You can all these held here. Very, very simple, but extremely eye-appealing from a distance. I'll show you another application using a ball. It's easier to do with a ball. Okay. In case it got broken here. It's like laying an egg. Okay. In this particular case, you've got this from your pocket or wherever, you've got it here in your hand. And so when you pick this up, this could be in glass to pick it out. Obviously, you're going to do it this way. Again, don't give it any sense of importance. Just hang it naturally there. It's easier to hold the coins. Through the same situation, you show this like this, around here, over, you move your hand over, and I do this, but I kind of stretch my fingers up so the shape of the ball isn't that obvious. It's only there for a second. You show this hand empty, and you throw the ball. Because the weight of the ball, you don't even have to grab it. The ball is now thrown into that position from this hand. So you're there, and then So, just to go through that again, palmed. I have a particular trick that follows, uses this entry to produce the ball. I talk about simplicity in magic. Magic should be beautifully simple, and then it becomes simply beautiful. Beautiful silk, or a silk scarf. I really should, only amongst magicians should be showing this use a silk scarf. A silk scarf. An empty hand. Two empty hands. I need one more thing to make this magnet. I need a ball. That's how I enter into that. It's kind of neat. Now, I'm holding this, finish up, because this is kind of important. Holding this in sort of this position, and like that. A ball, a silk, and a drinking glass. No, I'm not going to pour a drink now, I listen to this. But the drinking glass is important. And what is important here is, not only do you see the board, more important, you can hear it. The misdirection in this case is the ball can be heard in the glass. That tells you as much as anything, that the ball is actually in the glass, that you can hear it. You don't see it, but you can actually hear it. Now, what you want to do is you want people to hear the ball, so you let them hear the ball. I want you to watch carefully, because this is real magic. The ball is gradually floating out. You can't see it, like this really is a good trick. And it's actually penetrating through the top. If you watch very carefully, you'll see the ball actually rising up through the top of the handkerchief, right in front of your eyes. Okay, that's my prize one. It is so simple. We've had some quite well-known magicians who came up with cute moves. How it could be done? And then they practically killed themselves. I'm sure that was done. So you'll kill. Right, glass. So you produce it by whatever means that you want, but every action is important. It's one of those that's been cut down to the absolute bare essentials, this trick, because the simplicity is the thing I'm talking about. Keep it simple, make it magic. You've got your ball, you've got the silk held in some way like that. You pick up your glass, which is a bottomless glass. It's nasty. Bottomless glass. But you go through the process of, it's inane, but it does lend sort of credibility to this. You drop the ball in, of course it can't get out because your fingers are at the bottom. You drop it out, don't overdo this once again, and draw attention, because this is what makes it, is the misdirection of sound. You know it's in there because you can hear it, because that's going to be important later. Now, there are no false moves here at all. You do literally cover it. Now, I will lift it slightly for ease of the fact that it goes into your palm behind. I'll show you in a minute more detail of that. You lift that slightly, the ball is drifted into your palm, and the glass is raised above it, so there's no fear of noise or mistake. Then, I say, you know that I've got a glass in here with a ball in it that's covered with a silk scarf. But you can't see the ball. What you need is to hear the ball. I'm then turning this, and here's the ball. I'm actually pressing it against the ball. So the ball is now in the pocket in the top of the glass, like that. And when you've got your sound misdirection, which is virtually exactly the same sound as they heard before, i.e. the reason for emphasizing it. Now, you carefully establish that it's not showing across the top, and here it is, in the little pocket. There are a number of ways of doing this. The easiest is to put it on the crook of your hand here. I raise it up so there's no chance of people seeing otherwise. And then I push very slowly with the right hand, which tensions the silk. such that it actually is pulling away from the glass. The appearance being it penetrates from the inside. You can do that with one hand with a bit of practice, the only difference being that you use your thumb at the back and you just pull it down. That which will also cause the silk to become taut. I've done that in theaters of 300 or 400 people with a spotlight, and it's apparently very effective. Again, sheer simplicity. The magicians who saw this thought that I had an ordinary glass, and when I did this, I had done an inversion somehow of the glass, allowing the ball to come in my hand, and oh God, it's complicated. I don't know. Simon Lovell, in his latest book, which I think was called Simon Says, in his first chapter, he says, spell out what you want to do to yourself. What is it, the aim of this particular trick? Write it down. Make sure you've got your goal clearly established. And then find the simplest way to get to that goal. Do not complicate the process. This does not mean you don't do sleight of hand, because there are occasions when that is the simplest process. But there are many occasions when it isn't. So don't complicate things if you don't have to. Okay. How are we doing for time? Good. Right. Another 2.5 hours? Great. I think then it's time for the card. Notice I've avoided it like the plague. I do cards, but and I enjoy them very much. And I actually think they're the poetry of magic. Where else can you have something you carry around in your pocket so normal and natural as a pack of cards? But we overdo it. We as magicians overdo it. It's our fault if you kill people's desire to watch card tricks. Countdown card tricks, unless they're extremely clever, and in effect you're almost challenging people in a mathematical way, should be avoided, only because they take so damn long to do. You want a game, Simon Lovell's thing, get to the point that you're trying to get to. The fastest and easiest way you possibly can. And often that is not doing a lot of countdowns. However, there are some brilliant countdown tricks I don't discover. Now, this is not a card trick as such, and I will need, Michael, can you come up again, because you're superb. And could Randy, God, that's a good name for a trick I'm going to do.
I'm not official meeting it, am I?
I have just realized that's wonderful. It couldn't be better. This pack of cards is actually my date-mate computer. Normally, you bring an item, a couple of them. You're just going to have to live with this. Sorry. Recently married, not so much on the honeymoon would be better, or who are engaged, I'm still very much in love, and all that, because this makes more. So the date-mate computer, I really think of the pack of cards as being much like the computer. When you shuffle the cards, you get randomization, which is exactly what a computer does in the binary system. It juggles the numbers up. But you're doing the same thing with a pack of cards when you shuffle. There are many similarities in the way things are placed and come out in a pack of cards that happen on a computer. You can be extremely serious about this if you want, or you can be absolutely idiotic and talk about things like bytes and gigahickeys and things like this and whatever to create this sort of false notion of this is the date-mate computer. Now, in this particular case, I'm going to treat you as two men. And you'll understand why before I was doing a little changeover in the pack here for this reason. I asked the date-mate computer before I came to identify two males. And to avoid us having to look for the two males, I said, set them up very obviously for us. So in fact, we have two males. King of Hearts, Randy, would you please act as the King of Hearts? And Michael, would you be the king of diamonds? It seems very appropriate. These two fine-looking men should be kings in their own domain. Now, they are likely interested in going out on a date or something like that, and the computer is, at this moment, is just jiggling itself into a completely randomized situation. Michael, I want you to hold the king by the middle with the thumb and the first finger, and to concentrate to pass all your innate characteristics into that cloud. You are in fact programming that chip, not that chap, the chip. And I'm going to have you place this chap into the date-mate computer in a position only you will know, i.e. totally random. And to do that, I'm just going to deal cards down like this, and any time you feel so inclined, just drop yourself into the computer. Thank you. You sure you want to?
Possibly.
Absolutely. So this is totally random. Beautiful. So, randomization. And you'll notice the computer is dormant, or whatever a computer is. It's broken. Yes, I'm going to get this one booted up. Right. Randy, I want you to take your king, hold it in the same way that Michael did, and to think of a number between 10 and 20, but don't tell me what it is, but put it into the chip. Good chat. Okay. I'm going to deal down, and you stop me when we get to your chip number, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13? Okay, you are not a superstitious character, are you? Or do you want a date with 13? Okay, this is fine. This is, as you see, well programmed, laid on there, and I think you'd have to create a totally random choice. The computer goes through its process. Yeah, good. And after that total randomization, it has in it all the files of the people you might be able to go out with. All the possibilities. Anything from dogs to gorgeous. Who are you going to get? You go for the gorgeous. Randy, obviously you want to do the same. Or do you want intellect? Or halfway? Are you married? Are you married, Randy?
No, I marry people. I don't know this.
I should have noticed there. Yeah. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Anyway, as you can see, total randomization, and the computer could have picked anything. Michael, let's see who you find. The Queen of Diamonds to match the King of Diamonds. Absolutely perfect. Wow. Sorry. I don't think you're going to be so lucky. You're going to say, let's have a look. You deserve all the best for all the good works you do. You also got a perfect match. From a totally random selection, the computer has found for you both perfect matches. And it had no choice, because the computer knows best. Only choose those cards for you. Now, this genesis of this damn thing is, let's go back into China sometime in probably the 1st century AD or something, for the actual mechanics. But Leonard Green showed a trick in which he had rainbow pack or something like that. It became very well known, but you had to have a rainbow pack. They were pretty hard to come by and pretty expensive. And while wonderful, it wasn't kind of too natural. In fact, it didn't look very natural, obviously. It was a gimmick thing. Now, this doesn't look like a gimmick thing. It looks like it's been done with a golden pack of cards. So in this case, the reason beforehand I was twiddling around and setting one saw me put a pack of cards in there is I thought we'd have at least one female here. So I had to change and put 2 males. So that's the difference.
We're glad you did.
Yeah, you did a super job. I do appreciate it. I'll put a King of Diamonds on the bottom of, this is obviously a blank pack. I guess you could have any cards. You could avoid all 6s, all 5s. But the impact of the blank in the context of what I'm saying, the computer, is the best. Because this is nothing. It's nothing. But if it was all sixes, you can't say it's nothing. It's all sixes. It doesn't convey the same strength. So I prefer this. Now, I haven't got a rainbow pack, so this is what I developed. Use the blank pack. We're going to assume we've got ladies this time, okay? I put the king of diamonds on the bottom, and the queen, let me get this right, queen of hearts on the top, okay? It's all in the hook. Queen of diamonds on the bottom, and the king of diamonds on the bottom, and the queen of hearts on the top. It's very important that you know the order that you've got there. Then I put face up queen of diamonds here, and face up the king of hearts in the pack. Beforehand, before we come out, set them up. Now, if you've got two guys, you've got to put, switch them around. That's all there is to it. It doesn't take a genius to understand that. So you come out. I preferably don't show the bottom card, but if you do casually, don't sweat it. Sometimes people, unfortunately, there are details of what makes magic, good or bad. The intent is you take the pack out like that. Well, sometimes people forget they take the pack out like that. Well, don't make an issue of it. Just a point I'm making. We draw attention to our mistakes. Often they're not even noticed. Or if so, by very few. Right. Your story, it lends itself beautifully to the computer thing. There are so many things with internet and email and all the rest of it. The pack of cards is very similar. You shuffle, you've got randomization and so on. So, hey, here we are. When you spread the cards out, because this is to speed up the whole situation, you just take the two face-up cards out. And this is so natural. They see the back, they see the front. The rest of the cards must be the same. I hope you felt that when you saw it. There was nothing suspicious. No reason. The lady is obviously going to get the queen, and the man who's helping the couple, the item, if you like, gets the king. Close these up, and now, of course, you've got a king and a queen. And when I do the randomization shuffle, I just riffle and leave the bottom of one and the top of the other. Not what you would call advanced card magic, but you don't make an issue of it. Just do it twice and say, this is the randomization. Just exactly what a computer does in a binary system. You have thrown a few good words. Now this, even when you know how this damn trick is done, it is still beautiful to me in that there's no handling. It just seems so damn natural, yet it places the cards. First person, I don't say stop right away because I don't want them to stop on the fourth card. I want to have a little packet of about 7 or 8 cards. So I start to deal these down, and I say, well, total randomization when you place it. Would you take the queen, please, and drop it on at any time? So now you've got about 10 or 12 cards rather than 2 or 3. It just doesn't look as good. Do you understand? You want to get closer to the middle. Okay, that's fine. She goes on. That immediately, when you put this on, puts the king of diamonds next to that without any manipulation at all. Automatically does it. Because that's the bottom card of the pack. That's the joy of it. There's nothing. People are looking for a little handy. Now the second part, and do play this up, you're going to do it with a chip or something. And you can fiddle around with words and have some other fun, especially with the young lady who's nervous. She's left her fingerprints on it, and you can play games and so on. Right. Think of a number between 10 and 20. When she's young, you say, oh, you're about your age, or maybe between 10 and 20. And it doesn't matter what number they choose. Let's say 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Some people stop at 7. You've had those people say, not between 10 and 20, please. They stop at 7. Don't embarrass them, stop at 7. It doesn't matter. The chipped card goes here. It also now puts the Queen of Hearts next to it. Automatic. That's what makes this so neat. There is no handling is done before you start. Then, most of us can do that. You draw the 2 out, place them to the side, draw the other 2 out, place them to the side. I want to have this neat, so I don't do another shuffle. What the hell did isn't necessary. Leave it on the side, because that looks like when you've done that, the trick is basically over. You can play this up for what it's worth. I hope you got the point. This is your boyfriend here. You don't want to disappoint him. You want to have the perfect match. You are the perfect match. You're building up in the hope that they get, and you turn it over and say, oh, you've done extremely well. You really have the perfect match. But you, George, seldom happens twice, you know, that sort of thing. Build it up, and they're delighted in their own way that you've got this perfect match. It kind of gives them another reason for a hug. So you've done that. You said, but there really is no choice. The computer has done all its mathematics. There's nothing else it can come up with. And it's when you display them out and show all the lines. And that's it, you step back. And that really gets good reaction. They thought it was over, kind of neat, but that's a good blow. And it's consistent with what you're doing. There are some surprises which are totally inconsistent. If I suddenly produced a rabbit, it would be pretty damn good. It hasn't got a hell of a lot to do with rabbit. Okay? If you're still puzzled, that is a great starter for your card tricks. It's hard. Sorry, go ahead.
Was my card using that? My card.
Yes, yeah. Just a buy them at Magic Store. And the reason I say you can buy all sixes and all fives and all threes or all those, but I don't think you get the punch out of it that you get out of the blanks. It's literally, wow. And then some of them will pick them up. I mean, it makes you feel good if they do that. The joy of that thing is you can be as nervous as hell and do this and do it well. It doesn't mean knuckle busting, dealing seconds and bottoms and all that, which are great, but not probably for the first trick. So you're now breathing well, and they've had a chuckle, and they're going back to their seats, and you can pull out another pack of cards. Obviously, you can't go on doing magic with this. You could change them. If you want to be real smart, put them down here and change and bring out. But I'm not sure that should stand on its own. It's a computer. So just that, I'm going to take out another pack of cards. I need Micheline and Randy, please, to come up. Often, as you know, the fun of the close-up is the interaction with people. And as is the case here. Now, I know you very much. Oh, incidentally, the last piece can lend itself to two guys looking for dates, girls, can lead, you know, to an item, but it can also lead to a couple of gays. I mean, hey, I've got no hang-ups about that at all. If you, in fact, were putting on a show for a gay group, you find them a couple of guys. You know, I get the two jacks instead of the two queens. So, you know, the point here is don't be hit by the politics, guys. If that's where you're performing, you do it for them. And that's their choice. Okay, this is a real favorite of mine. This one. I'm sure all of you have seen or heard, perhaps someone in the club does the anniversary waltz. Do you do the anniversary waltz, guys? Have you seen it done? Yeah, it's a very well-known trick. I like the anniversary waltz, but I like the idea of the anniversary waltz, but it wasn't exactly landed with the hand. It just seemed like too much hand. So I developed my own way of doing it. I'll go through it. We'll shuffle back of cards usually. And then, you have a lady. Will you be a lady? Okay. Randy, you suddenly become a man. Okay. This is a sex change. This is the best magic I've done so far. Then I usually play some silly game. Would you please take a card and you pretend, but you wouldn't believe that was a free choice, which is really very, very important that you recognize that you've had a free choice. And the only way you can do that is if I pass the cards in front of you, instead of saying take them, is you just call the name of the card. Then you have permission, I'm sure you agree. But that's true. You can even change your mind. It's your prerogative. You don't mind, right? Would you change it? No, this one. Okay. Just call out the name of the card as they go by. 10 of hearts. Michelin, are you sure? Because a lot hangs on this card. Do you want to stay with the 10 of hearts, or do you care to change?
Okay.
You've got to watch for that.
4 times.
4 of diamonds. I'm not even going to ask you this time. Michelin has chosen the 4 of diamonds. Michelin, I want you, if you would, to take the scripto pen, and I want you to sign your name. Michael. Yeah, that's good enough. And of course, you can play this one for all it's worth. You can have a Visa card, have a telephone number, all those things. And the simplicity of this is that you are literally going to place your pen on there and leave it at that. Now, random. I want you to get a card, but you're not going to. We're just going to have a randomization, not the computer stuff exactly, but a randomization. Do you think you can get a better card than that? I would hope so. It's a pretty low card, isn't it? 7 of clubs. Well, you're certainly beaten on number. And I'm going to have you sign this card as well. But I don't want you to sign it on the face, because you've already done that. I don't want you to match that. So will you just put Randy in? Well, if you, a number or whatever. That's great. Okay, Randy signed the 7 of clubs. Your card was the 4 of diamonds? Okay, 4 of diamonds, with your signature on it, 7 of clubs, belly to belly, or whatever. That's great. Watch the language. Up to you how you play. You're safe. Now, for the magic skills. Initially, would you place your hand flat over both Randy's card and your card? 4 diamonds and 7 of clubs. Randy, would you place your hand on? Thank you very much. I'd like to see white to please. Please, you don't mind. And would you place your other hand? And there's only one more hand to go on the top. Now enjoy this, Randy. It's the last time you get the upper hand with this one. That is, people love this damn silly It's the last time you get the upper hand. Randy, will you take your hand back there, Michelin, and back? And you see, it's stuck practically, isn't it? All that motion in between. And do you know what you've actually caused to happen? The signature, which was on your 7 of clubs, is now gone. Signature. And your card, Randy, has been amalgamated with Michelin in a most loving bond. As you can see, her signature is now on the back of your card. And you can go to the table, next table. There's no setup at all, just straight away. Now, with the anniversary waltz, those who know the anniversary waltz, you need a double-faced card. And so there's a little bit of handling to not show that it's a double-faced card, things are pushed in from the side. It's a bloody good trick, don't let me take away from it, and the final part of it may be better than this. But this is so damn easy, quite easy, and it is so direct. That's the big thing, it's direct, it's the shortest point. Okay, all you need for this is a pack of cards and 2 of any card, doesn't matter. I took the 7 of clubs. I put the 2 7 of clubs on the top of the pack. They could be any cards. I would suggest cards that are not too busy, like 10 of diamonds and 9 of spades. So they're very obvious. Sometimes a 3 or a 4 is even better. I think I had some spare ones, and that's why I have the 7s. Because the more space, the more the signature can be seen. This is for visuals. Okay, so these are on the top. Very casual, come out. Do whatever kind of shuffle you want to do. I'm just talking and doing this while I'm continuing to shuffle them off. And don't do flashy stuff. This is not the time for it. You can drop a few cards if you wish. You can check them if you wish. It's quite natural if you're insecure. The point of this is, it's magic that happens, despite you. So don't worry about it. Very important. Okay. Then I've got an item, if you can, a couple. Got some emotional connection, and I play this because I want to make the point of free choice is so strong, and it's totally free. And I play this initially, that'd be cheap. I want you to have totally free choice, call out any card you wish. I'll just stop one here. Say the 8 of clubs, doesn't matter. No, that's too close to that. We're going to have a contrast. 2 of hearts. Could be anyone. I have a stand-up technique, which is so easy. This is not sleight of hand, but it allows sleight of hand. Is I take the 2 of hearts, I go like that. It sets it up on the top without putting it on the table. Now, most people, when they do, they'll put it on the table and then put it onto here for the signature, which is really ridiculous, because if it's there, you might as well have it signed right there. So the point is, you want to get away from it. It's a very silly little move, but it allows all kinds of other things that you can do, which I'll show you later. You come to this, the 2 of hearts, you turn it, and it literally goes on the top. And you can show it as going on the top. No peculiarities at all. Then pick this up. Now, while I'm doing that, I do a pinky cheat, yeah? I do a pinky count for a double lift. You do whatever way you care to present for double lift, but I just use my little finger. I don't know if you can do it, but there it is set, little finger. That's the only kind of real hard part. But anyway you do it, there were, geez, another card being used. This following move, to me, is one of the neatest card change that I've ever seen. And it was a throwaway thing in something by, yeah, how did you remember it? It's something like the anomalous turnover.
A logical turnover?
Yes, brilliant. The guy's read the book by who? Wasn't Harry DeLay?
No, David Regal.
Wasn't his book. But
Oh, I know.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
You'll get to that. He's supposed to have good memory. I'm too old for that. Well, anyway, point is, you take a double, which in fact has cards back to back. So you've got your 2 cards the same, 7 of clubs, and you have the sign card. You pick up your double, whichever way you want. I do it with a pinky, and you slide the 2 off. This is the situation from there. This is, and it has a beautiful persistence of vision thing. As I get to there, I turn it over and drop it. This is now changed to that. Very clean, very subtle, and immediately, if you feel any insecurity at all, you naturally replace that on. So let's just do that again. Here, double by whatever means is probably the most difficult part for you. Doing the double, pick up the double, say right, and you can actually hold that, ready to go.